Good evening, guys. It's 5:20 p.m. January 28th. It's a Friday, So let's start with pre-market notes. Where is it? Here. Now, hold on. Okay, so today Apple's earning effect and Friday's closing game. So closing game, you know now what is the closing game means. You can see near the end, price reversed, right, and closed all the way higher to 44.24. This area, yes. See, so an NQ closed around this area. See, that's why I was saying this is the Friday's closing game. Anything can happen. So now Monday also similar game, month-end game. So you have to be careful. In picking up the right direction during the day. And towards the end you basically don't trade. So yes, sellers still have a control below this area. Up to this. So technically sellers are still in control. Okay, now today it's all about this. So today's closing came out at this, and then we had a rotation from 26, 89, 47, 42, 90, 50. Important today, right? And you can see there is a clear rotation back and forth from this area for both sides. Globex high and lows are important. So you break below, significant, break above, significant. Okay, and NQ entire 194 to 113 is a seller's area. It has to go through it first for buyers and then take out this area, in order to bring more buyers during intraday. Otherwise continue to favor more shorts. Okay, Russell stay shorts, Dow don't do anything, gold no trading, crude stay long above 86. And you can read through it later on, all these things. Trim numbers 151, 76. Okay, so this is the power of 76. You can see it, see here, right here. So 76 rejection, 76 bounce, see that, 151 rejection, right? Once it goes through it, price went higher, here goes through it, you can short, right? You can see a little bounce here, goes through it, short, target this, so that's the power of levels, and you can see all these lines were given to members, right? And then you can see all these lines, and then there is a specific way you can trade it, but you can see it, this is pre-market, break below this, short, target this or this, right? Then you don't do anything till open you short, right here, target this, when you see a chop you bail out. Then dream number, see opening also dream number short, you want to do it, you can do it, then price slice through dream number, pull back, you can go long, you can take a profit here if you went long right into this area, see. But you have to be selective, you cannot just blindly trade level to level. You have to be very selective in your trades, and I will show you only the selective trades which I took usually, but today I was out till after 8:30, right here, I was out for a car service till 12 o'clock, right? So these trades are after the fact, right? If I was observing these things, I would have taken these trades, after 12:20, I was here in Discord, so I took this trade, right? And then you can take a profit here, or you can hold it till this, right? And then you observe it, and then there was a trade right here and right here. I know most of the Discord folks took this trade, breakdown, targeting this dream number, and this thing, that was the closing game. See these things. So here when price came down here, I was talking in Discord that in order for sellers for a further down move, they have to really break this and this, otherwise buyers can step in here or cover their shorts, and that can fuel the rally. But As long as it is holding below 191, and this sellers have a control. The moment it goes above it, then no idea, buyers can take over. And this is what happened. It went higher. At this time buyers were confirming, right? So NQ, since it's an important area, you can go long actually here. That's why it's a different arrow. It's not an ideal setup because ES was technically below this area, 60-74 area. So but we know in ES what we discuss is right here there were a lot of stuck buyers, so that's why this is a trade in ES at that time. 64 break, at the same time NQ here also you can take a trade same time, and then break below this you can target 26, 29 area. That is what I said in Discord. Then once this is taken out, right here 64, see that 64 did not acted as a seller's point here. So this was a pullback. If you are observing it very carefully and if you are trading it, this was a long here also, but since it was below morning range and in the chop and it's a Friday end of the day, you do not want to mess around, right? NQ you can, but ES you don't want to, ES you want to break out, if buyers are strong, let them break it out. So here they break out, right? So that was the trade you can take, but 89 was important level, so ideally you want to wait for 89 to taken out. Here you can go long at the same time. NQ above morning high 300, you can go long, if you're observing it. But usually I prefer Friday for the members to do only 1 or 2 trades in the morning and then do not bother to trade later on, but if you're observing it, then these are the trades, So I covered NQ now here, right? This one, right? So the bounce happened in the pre-market when market break down in the pre-market, which is here, right? So in the pre-market, if you're observing it, this was a trade right here, because it spent a lot of time around 92, 95, try to go higher, and then gave up. At the same time NQ below over this level, right? So you can take a short, right, and profit at the bold area. Then the 8:30 news, price bounce. So in Discord 8:30, before I left for a car service, I told them technically all these areas are sellers area, but if you see price moving higher and higher, wait for a pause instead of shorting at the first test, and that saved them basically. If they did not take a short, I know most of the member did not, it saved them, because then price balanced and went higher, So here now, since it went above 26, the idea is it has to hold above this damn 26, if it price cannot, and here also same thing. So if NQ went above this area, it has to hold above it, and then immediately failed breakout, it went below 26, NQ went below here, you can take a short right here, because by the time internals were also down, right, tanking, and a momentum below zero line, right? So that was a short. And let's say if it is too aggressive, right, then you wait for this area to be taken out and you can take a short right here, NQ you can do the same thing. Only problem, NQ you can do it because you have a next level little bit further away. ES is a problem because if you short right here, right, you have this bold area, the price has to go through it, and it may not go through it. The way ES was behaving here, if sellers were strong, price should not have gone higher this way, right? So this suggests that buyers are there. Until price clears out this area, shorts are risky at the lower end. Higher up here you can take it, targeting this, but shorting here in ES is like barely 4 or 5 points, so that's why this is not a short here, but here you can take it, then you can hold it, here when you see the balancing here and here, you bail out, and then you see these things popping up back to 26. See, now the 26 is taken out both ways. Now you can't trade it, you just observe it, that below 26 sellers, above this buyers. So it's a gridlock, then gridlock is broken, price went higher, took out this high, right, and NQ also happened this way, correct? So NQ, this 191, 183 was a key area, and this both. So NQ you can't do anything. Yes, once it broke out, you can technically take a trade at 26 now, rely on 26. So and NQ was right here at this green number, see, morning high. So based on that you can take a trade in ES, not in NQ at that point, because NQ was technically below this good areas. Now ES can technically go to this area, right? So here you can take a trade, but that's why it's a different arrow. It's not an ideal setup that I wanted to have it, so that's why it's a different arrow. You have to wait for it to clear this area, right? And NQ to clear completely, then you can take a trade, right? But today what we discuss in pre-market is stay short below this area, this, and if you see something going higher and higher, you wait for a pause and then take a short, later on. But longs were not discussed unless price shows something, right? So here it's a breakout basically of this entire damn thing and continuation from 92. That's why you take a different long here. Not an ideal setup, and then price went higher here, right? So now you can't do anything, you can't take a long here. It's a risky business, because now NQ is running into this 300 and this area, right? So but NQ, once it broke out about this 191, you can take this trade at the key level and bail out at here, not 300 but here, and then you wait, and then you want to see how it going on, how it is going. Since ES went higher here at that time, there were Globex high here. That is what we discussed right here when it was 300. When I came back from car service right here, price was at 300, NQ resistance, Russell resistance, Dow was at resistance, ES was not at resistance, right? So considering all three markets as a resistance, you cannot go long here anywhere, you have to wait. Instead you look for a short setup. That is what I said in Discord, and then I explained them a process how you want to look for a shorts, right? And then when price went below here, and then when it came down here, I said, and ES came down here, I said now ES needs to hold 68 or 64, and NQ I want it to bounce back up to 256 here, and if it holds it, ES holds it, then you can have a short if it breaks below this area, and ES breaks below this area, right? So I took the early short right at the first touch, because it was planned that if it comes here in a certain manner or certain fashion, you can short. But I asked Discord folks not to take a short. I took 1 micro only here just to test it out. Real short break below this, so here, and then it did not break below here, then there was a tight chop, right? And then the chop is broken down. That was the opportunity right here, and ES 64 was holding like a rock. The moment it gave up, that was a short, right? So now I discussed all these trades earlier, right? So I'm not going to repeat it again. So that's how the day ended today, Now internals are garbage in this high volatile environment because they are ping-ponging everywhere. See that? So internals are no help unless you see something really great, Then otherwise you have to purely trade based on the price action in this environment. Okay. So because look at this liquidation internals, then all the way went higher, and then now plus 1500 or so, or 1000, right? So it's a garbage internals, momentum everywhere. See, so internals are not gonna help. It's a price action and the levels are the key. See, levels, without levels you can't trade it, but levels will give you which side is in control at which point during the day, even every minute or 2 or 5 minutes or 10 minutes it can show you which one is in control, as long as you have a levels. Without levels it's a blind trading, once you have a level, right level, you can trade it accordingly, long, short, whatever you want to do, and that be all for today. I'll see you on Monday.